R.I.P.
with the homies. Because it's the best way to go. Because fuck Fred Durst. All right, so.
I think I saw him one time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I was like, yo, that's Fred Durst. And it was like, that's hella sad.
Where though?
He still had the red hat on.
Where'd you see him at? Oh, he still had the red hat.
Yeah, that was the dead giveaway.
Cargo
People still
shorts.
look like Fred Durst. Just has not evolved.
I
Whatsoever.
can't wait to see like 75-year-old Fred Durst still rocking the red Nike's cap.
Oh, yeah. They had that one video where the guitar player's head fell off. That was kind of tight. Remember that one? It was like a real dark one. It was like people crawling on the walls.
I remember the one with Pauly Shore.
Wow. Save some for me, buddy. And he's like in the backstage of the comedy club and
Okay. All right. Ladies and jerks. That's all I have to say about that. No, okay. So we are here with Edgar.
Hello.
Edgar
Of My Monogram.
Rice
Edgar Rice.
Burrows.
It's cool, man.
Edgar
It's been Ritz a couple times.
It's been okay.
Ruiz.
Yeah,
Ruiz.
Ruiz. Yeah,
Ruiz.
yeah.
Edgar Ruiz. Of
Mhm.
My Monogram. Singer, guitar player, multi-instrumentalist.
Damn,
I've seen
homie.
you play drums.
That's tight.
Thanks, man.
He has that sick ass microphone. Last time I saw you guys, at least.
Oh, the Eevee?
Are you still
Is that
using
what
that
it is?
thing?
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
It's badass.
Oh, thank you, guys.
I feel bad because I haven't seen you in a long time.
Oh, that's chill, man. Saturday. Oh, Friday, I mean.
Yeah, next Friday.
yeah.
We should
Ye-
start
ye-
off. We
ye-
should start off promoting this. So we are throwing a show. Friday. This is gonna air on Wednesday,
Okay.
so we're doing a quick turnaround. So it's like, so this Friday, August 17th at DBA 256 in Pomona. It is 256 South Main Street, Pomona, California. You know that zip code? All right, fuck you. So, no, it's a good cause. We're doing a show to benefit people affected by immigration and all that, and we're gonna get into that in a little bit. But please, if you can, we're gonna give a shout out to Girl Underground Music blog. Jeanette has been phenomenal in helping us out with all this stuff. She got the Young Center.
Is it Young Center or is it Youth Center?
It's the Young Center. It's the Young Center
The Young
for
Center.
Immigrant Children's Rights.
Mhm.
And they will be taking donations. Jeanette was super cool. She made some T-shirts and all that to help out. We have so many things going on. We have some amazing artists who've been kind enough to dedicate some art pieces for for raffles and stuff like that, so we can raise more money. And we encourage everyone who's going to show up to that show to drink a lot. Because we are going to be helping out Edgar and giving him a percentage of the bar that DBA allows. All the bands that we have playing, we have Scary Pool Party, who's really fucking talented. Alejandro's his name. He's been playing with Twin Shadows. He was recently on Conan, fucking amazing. We have Alicia Blue, who just got added to the bill. Super talented, great guitarist and singer. We have Kusi Coiler. Kusi Coiler, and she's fucking awesome. I just saw a music video she did recently. It's awesome. And we have Furcast, who's just
Sucks.
other.
They're one of the worst. I'm kidding. I'm gonna just not even joke because
No.
it's a serious thing. But they're really dope.
They're one of the best bands you're gonna see live, seriously. And we have the incomparable My Monogram as well.
Oh,
So, please check that out. Come with us, help us that night. Like I said, we encourage you to drink, but we also encourage you to drive safe. So, take a Lyft or anything. What up, Lyft? Sponsor us. What's up?
Or Uber.
Well, if you don't drink it, you could donate, right? To
Oh, yeah.
donations.
And there's no donation too small. We're going to be raffling off some artwork, T-shirts, your guitar.
Yeah, got 2 guitars that I'm going to be auctioning off that night.
Cool. Why don't you go ahead and describe these beautiful guitars? for me?
One of them is a 70s Contessa. It's just a hollow body from Italy. It's really nice, man. It just sounds really cool. And the other is a Harmony Parlor reissue. and it's got a vintage Diarman pickup mounted on there, so you can go acoustic or electric.
Oh wow.
Both really fucking good guitars with a case each.
Awesome. Look at that. So
You can get yourself a guitar. You could get yourself some art. You could get yourself some drunk. You could help out a very important cause, and at the very least, you will hear some fantastic music. And you're probably never gonna do something as important with your life, at least for like the next month and a half, I would say. Yeah. You're not gonna be doing anything better that night, anyways. You know you're not. You're gonna catch up on your Netflix. So come out and spend some time with your boys. Hear some cool stuff, and I don't know. Celebrate life with us. Celebrate family. Celebrate things that you like.
It's all
Be with
about
us.
keeping families together.
Let's keep some families
I think
together.
there's Smashing Pumpkins raffle.
Oh, that's
a
the
pair of
best.
tickets.
That's right.
Yes.
So if you're a Smashing Pumpkins fan,
Yes. If you are a Smashing Pumpkins fan or into So Far shows, they have So Far LA, So Far Sounds, follow them on IG and all that stuff. And then Heart Mind Radio was gracious enough to dedicate some Smashing Pumpkins tickets and some So Far Sounds tickets to the cause that will be raffled off as well. And know that the money goes to a great cause and helping people out.
Yeah.
So without further ado, yeah, come out. But we're gonna have a conversation with Edgar now, so you can get to know him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Edgar, what's your blood type?
I believe it's O negative.
Damn.
I think that's a really rare one, actually.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
really?
O negative and O positive are like the
shit.
rarest ones.
The O negative means that you can donate to every.
Yeah.
blood.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Holy shit. They hit me up every year. It makes sense.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I've gone a couple of times, but I mean, sometimes I just can't make
How do they go about that? They just like tap on your door with like an empty syringe.
Nah,
And
they,
fangs out and drilling.
hey, by the give us your blood.
they send you a postcard in the mail every so often, and we'll let you know where they're gonna have the blood drives, or sometimes it's a cart, and you go and you just,
I remember. Have you ever gotten a phone call from them?
Yeah, I have, actually.
I remember one time someone was like, they called and they left a message and they're like, we're calling for so and so. We have, and they describe a gory accident, like someone is dying and needs your blood type, and we're just like, okay, and then you like call them back, and you try to like go to the thing, like we got it covered, but you're just like, okay, good, but like you scared me. Like, don't do that.
Oh shit.
They do, because phone calls already give me like massive anxiety. So that would not be good. I'm glad I haven't gotten one of those.
Yeah.
They're chill about it, I feel like. I mean, they used to do that at our high school, like every year.
Yeah.
And if you were able to do it, like if you were over a certain weight or whatever for your age, they'll let you donate.
Yeah.
Everybody did it because you got out of class for about an hour and a half.
Fuck yeah, we
So-
did it. We were assholes. We used to do it. We were like, okay, we got to you got to milk how your recovery time,
Okay.
right? So it
Yeah,
was like,
that's
because
true.
I'm a little bit lightheaded, and they give you free snacks and juices
Yeah,
and shit
fucking
like that.
orange juice and shit.
But then we also did it for a head change.
What the fuck? All right.
We would sit there, we would fucking give the blood, and be a little bit tipsy, and be like, hey, dude, I heard if you fucking like bend over and just like hyperventilate for a little bit, you'll like feel really fucked up.
What the fuck? I was just there for the cookies and OJ. To be honest.
Yeah, that
I was
seems
damn,
sensible,
That's
yeah.
fucking. That's lit.
We're like, fuck 6 period. All right. No, serious talk. I don't know how the fuck we got into that. But so how you been, man?
Pretty good, man. It's been a minute since we've like caught up. So.
Yeah, dude. I feel like I haven't seen you in like almost 2 years, honestly.
Yeah, dude.
Since that desert festival. That didn't pan out.
Oh yeah, that was fun though. You guys had that fucking was it a chicken salad or some shit?
Oh,
Some
yeah.
tostadas. That was lit, dude. Thank you guys.
Yeah,
That was a lot of fun. Just playing soccer and shit.
Right.
That's how I remember doing, to be honest, dude.
Dude, but what sucked is that, like, okay, so someone got us on the, I think Moon Ensemble got us on the bill.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got Roller Coaster Water and then you guys on the bill.
Dude, roller coaster water was sick.
They were sick, dude. But they were like the only ones who got to play.
Yeah.
So what happened though? What was it so chaotic?
So the whole thing was that
Usually shows run so smoothly.
It was a desert festival. We went out there and that was the second day.
Yeah.
It wasn't even the first day. It was the
Ambitious.
second day. They didn't have they didn't have the structures up for all the shade stuff. It took them like all day to set that up because they were lagging and getting high as fuck. Like,
Understandable.
like they didn't have generators for the sound or anything. So it was like the first night that people were there, the people who paid for this, it was not cheap. And like people went over there and they were just like, oh, so we're just gonna camp out, I guess. And there's no music or anything. And they're like, it's okay, we got like 20 hits of acid. So like we're out there and like we were excited about playing. We got Monogram and Roller Coaster Water on the bill because Moon Ensemble got us on there. And we showed up and we got there like Porcelain Pill. We got there like around, I don't know, 2 in the afternoon because we were supposed to play at like 4 or something like that. And there was nothing set up at all. And then like I remember Edgar and Chris were calling me saying like, yo, dude, the van broke down.
Oh, dude, it did. Nah, man, it was the fucking worst. I remember that shit. Dude, we had to get was it coolant? Like this fluid, yeah, because Chris's van overheated, so we were stuck. And then like I remember I was the one that had to make the trip to the gas station, and it was like inclined for about 1.5 miles, and I was wearing boots that day.
And it's in the dead of summer, too.
And I was like, I fucking ran up there, bought 2 of those and some waters because they were fucking all dehydrated and shit at that point. Made it back down, and we got the van to like work. So we got there, and even the trail was a little sketchy, right? There's like signs here and there, like after you hit a certain point, like, oh, make a right or whatever. And we made it. We were like shitting it, like, oh man, we're gonna totally like miss our slot or whatever. And then come to find out, the guys are like, oh yeah, the generators are coming from like San Diego or something, and the guys are running late, so nobody had even played. We were like shitting it because like we were running 2 hours behind, right. And like I was exhausted as fuck, dude, because like nobody else was down to make that like I was like, just do it. I'm like, all right, fuck it. And we got there, just ended up picking it with you guys. I think a couple of our friends got into buying brownies that were all duds. Supposedly they were edibles. None of that. It's like, are you feeling it? It's like, have you ever seen that Workaholics episode where they take acid? It's like, I think I'm feeling it, man. It's like it was just a dud. Like it's like a placebo effect. Nobody got shit. It was just kind of awkward.
I only remember the one. Well, I mean, they do drugs like in a lot of episodes, but there was the one where they're like stuck in the office and
it's that one.
Is there? I thought they did shrooms.
I think there's one where they do acid, and one of them like.
Because Durs,
I think I'm getting it. It's like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, because like Durs doesn't want to. Well, he's like, he's like the square one.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, are you sure you want to do mushrooms, dude? And he's like, guys, I can do a drug. I don't know why I thought that line was really funny.
Well, it was a lot of fun though, dude. The experience of hanging out there. You had
but
a fucking bomb ass kale salad or something. I think at the time you were eating kale salads and shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're like, this shit is bomb.
We were like, you know what? This festival sucks, but the vegans here are holding it down. They had some dope ass kale salad, and then Roger made some bomb ass like macaroni chicken salad, and we were eating on tostadas.
Bless.
We had like 2 bottles of whiskey.
Didn't you guys bring a tent and shit? Like you guys came prepared.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck.
I took mushrooms that night,
dude,
and walked around like because they finally got the generators up around midnight or 1 in the morning.
Fuck.
And you guys had already bounced.
We had bounced because we had somebody filling in on bass because Richard wasn't in the band at that point.
Oh, it was Lewis.
He was nice enough, and he brought his cousin over. Yeah. And like, we were supposed to be there that day, and like, well, we had to go back, you know. But I know that he's like, oh, if you stick around, you know, we're gonna like have you guys play next day and shit. But it just didn't work out for us.
Yeah.
But we got to catch Roller Coaster Water. I don't know how they did it. Like,
they found someone with 2 amps.
Okay.
So it's like the same thing as the other thing we did, like back in the day.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, I remember you told us about that.
Yeah.
Like that was like we met.
Quite the experience here.
Yeah, it's like same thing.
And like, that's what we were expecting. This one, like for this festival, we were like, well, even if it's like janky and shit, like it'll be
yeah.
But yeah, they found someone who brought their own private generator. It was a tiny generator, and they were like, well, can we use it real quick to play a set? Yeah. And they were like, okay. And they fucking played and they killed it, dude.
They did. Sick. I think their parents were there too and shit.
Yeah, dude.
That was really tight.
So that was cool. I was like, wish my parents would come watch
Dude,
me.
does roller coaster water?
I'm just kidding. Don't come
who's
to
like
my shows. For fuck's sake.
Who's like the main, or is there a main dude in roller coaster water? I'm not really like tight
Chucky.
Chucky, yeah.
Does his parents come to like all his shows?
No, that was just the thing, like a one-off thing. They were kicking
no,
off.
'cause
I've
it's
seen his
you told me
mom
another
in a
story,
couple
where-
shows,
yeah.
actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
We played with
Damn.
them in Echo Park, and his mom showed up. And it was,
Aw.
it was kind of cute. It was so adorable.
It is, man.
Because his mom was like, "Who's the one who pays for all your gear?"
yeah. Because wasn't he like you said, he was like, oh, this thing's like not working, whatever.
Yeah.
And then she's like, yeah, but who paid for it?
She was just trying to. It was like her way of being like, "I'm his mom."
Jesus, Susan, calm down with the rosé.
That was on a Sunday too, huh? So they had like bottomless
They had brunch
mimosas
and
or
shit.
some like
Mimosa.
that.
It was bottomless mimosas at
Right.
Lot 1.
Lot one. Oh damn.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh man,
Anyways,
Stressing on a Sunday.
Hey, is that when I fucking yelled at that dude?
nothing.
Is that same festival?
yeah.
You yelled at
Oh,
somebody?
yes, dude. At that festival,
I lost my shit.
before you guys left, actually,
Oh,
Adrian lost
fuck.
his fucking shit because Adrian had been drinking at this point.
Oh.
He's like, I get it. We're not gonna play. And like, he goes up to this dude and he goes, so what's with the generators and all this stuff? And he's like, look, man, I don't know. And Adrian goes, are you stupid? Like, this is how Adrian gets mad. Like, he turns into a 45-year-old white lady. He's like, excuse me, sir.
Shut the fuck up. It was not like that. It was not like that at all. It wasn't like
He
that.
goes,
I wanted to see it. I
He
wish
goes-
I would have seen that.
he goes, I can't. Are you stupid? And the guy just like,
Hey,
I can't
took it
deal with
though.
this right. He's like, no, you're putting a show on. You don't even have power. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, I'm
and he
right there with
starts
you, dude.
doing
Were
this.
you doing the hands? Yeah.
Yes, he's doing this like, I can't fathom your stupidity right now. He's like yelling at this guy, and this guy's like about to cry and shit. He goes,
Good.
He just stood there, dude. He
Idiot.
just took it.
You just took
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
Took it. And then like somebody, one of you guys, you're like,
we got drunk.
chill out. And I was
Yeah.
like, whatever. And then they walked away, and we're all pissed. We're all huffing and puffing and shit. And I'm coming back. I was like, fuck this. And I was disconnecting subwoofer. Disconnecting fucking anything I could. And I think you guys ended up helping me out.
shit.
You're like, fuck it.
I did something super immature because at that point too, I was belligerent.
Oh damn.
And Adrian was like, he said something mean, and I was like, no one talks about a boy like that. And I fucking went and like pulled a cable out of the fucking generator
Like
that
ripped
finally
it?
got there. Because they were like,
Holy
they straight up said, okay, we got a generator, but we're gonna ditch all the bands and put the DJs on.
Now I'm mad.
Exactly.
I'm
Oh,
furious now. dude.
Exactly.
fuck.
So I went over there and I was like, fuck that shit. Nobody disrespects my boy. And I fucking go over there and like, I remember I disconnected a cable and I grabbed one of the prongs and I fucking ripped it out so they couldn't go. Like, super petty shit. Super petty shit. And then
Damn.
like we had lost Adrian. I met up with Adrian. He's like, yo, dude, I fucked up this shit. I was like, me too, dude. And we're like hugging each other, like just
I'm kind of glad I wasn't there. I probably would have set something on fire. Just in the heat of the moment.
Damn.
so
I wish I would have stuck around for that, dude.
Dude, me too.
Fuck. Ah.
Just go full caveman, start breaking shit. That's tight.
I remember when we were leaving, I think they got the like some kind of generator because they got
Yeah.
this band is it Soul Juice or
Oh,
the soul juice hit.
yeah, I think they were playing and we're like, great, like fuck this, we're out of here. You know, like that's alright. Yeah, you know, like right when they got their shit. But dude, what the fuck? So they still didn't have the jet because they had multiple stages, right?
Yeah, they had 2 stages.
ambitious.
Yeah, ambitious as fuck.
Telling you.
They had giant, beautiful looking shade structures that took them 10 hours to set up.
You got, I mean, for this type of stuff. First of all, if anyone's watching this that's planning on putting together a festival, you don't have to do it in the desert, for one thing. And a lot of us would really appreciate that. Secondly,
Talking to you, Desert Days.
I don't know. They seem like they get it right. I heard Desert Days is real
I heard
cool.
this year's gonna be tight.
Yeah, it's a good lineup and everything like that. Hey, Desert Days.
Yeah.
You ever need a band? there's like multiple bands right here, so check us out on social media.
They don't all have to come from Echo Park.
You know? Yeah. So give yourself 2 days of prep, just for starters. You know what I mean? Like, do you remember the second?
Soledad days.
Yeah. What was it called? The second?
No,
time?
it was something gathering.
No, it wasn't. It was
Something Tribe.
Yeah, Good Vibe Tribe.
Good Vibe Tribe.
Good Vibe Tribe. That's right.
Vibe Tribe.
They kept posting all this stuff, and that dude's like email chain and everything like that. And like, you know, Mike Garcia said he beat that guy up in a parking lot. And I was like, dang. And I totally believed him. And I totally believed him. And I wish I would have seen it. I believed him because as he was telling me the story, you know, he was like getting all hype. And he was like starting to sweat a little bit. And then he got like a little boner. And I was like, whoa, dude.
You got a little.
Jesus, I'm not even joking. But yeah, they were like, I remember they were like, this one thing in particular, because it was like the same location as that first one.
Yeah, Soledad days.
Yeah, and they were like, guys, like we went through and like paved the road, so there's like an actual like road, so that because it was like hella bumpy. Before.
Okay.
It was like just like
it was like
dirt.
you drive your car and it's like
Yeah, like you could not.
fuck.
You had to go like less than 5 miles an hour. Because you were like going like this. It was like Indiana
something that
Jones.
would otherwise take you 2 minutes took you 30.
Where was this at, more or less?
Just-
Like the
or was it,
location?
like, Mojave?
Cantil.
Oh, fuck.
Cancel.
Okay.
But they were like, yeah, we paved the road. So like I had I like rented a little like minivan or something like that to go out there, and I saw it. I was like, oh wow, they actually really did it. They really went and paved the road. So I'm just like coasting along, and it was maybe 15 feet that they paved. So I'm just like, hey, this is good. And then you know the band? Do you know the band Fun Game?
Yeah.
Yeah. So their old bass player, Billy Boy. That's what I always say to him. And he doesn't. I don't think he's ever seen It. This is part in It where it's like when they're in like the adult part, and the guy's like at his he's like at his friend's grave, like all crying, like a little my buddy, and then he hears, and then like Pennywise is right back there, and he's like, "What's up, Billy Boy?" And he's like, "That one's for you over there," and he has like another grave dug. So that's why I say it to him.
Damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah. And and he hates it every time.
Damn.
So that's also why.
But he
I
hasn't seen
continue
it
to do
though,
it.
so does
Yeah,
he even?
but that's why it's funny because he just stares at me like, "Oh, dude, you're funny, dude."
That's fucked up.
But he might be more of a psychopath than I am because he did not slow down at all at any point in that road,
Oh shit.
and his car was just. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Damn.
But you know, just sometimes you look at people and you wonder how they're alive.
How'd you make it this far, man?
Yeah, how'd you get this far? It's like gives you hope. It gives you hope.
Fuck. That's a tight ass band, by the way. Fun
Smooth.
game.
Smooth. I just watched them play their last show for a while.
For a while.
Yeah, because their singer had to like move up to like Oregon for a bit,
Oh,
but she'll, you know,
that's a tight ass band though.
yeah,
man.
they're good.
Yeah.
They're still sounding good.
Your drummer plays for them, right?
Old
Well,
drummer,
I mean,
yeah.
hey, you know, if we're gonna go there, yeah. Well, like,
Wait, what?
yeah, you know what I mean. Like Ryan's my boy. Obviously, like, you know, I saw him at that show. We talked and everything like that, and I have no, you know, like ill feelings towards him or whatever like that. But it's just one of those things where, like, when you've been in a band for a while, that like, I don't know, it's like creative differences, or maybe that's even like an overused word. It's just, I think that everyone who's in the band, they either have like their idea of what they wanted the band to be like, or what direction they wanted the band to go in, or they just like, or it's just partying for them.
Yeah.
And like, I think Ryan, and I'm assuming a lot in saying this, but I think that he just was like, oh, I want to be this kind of band.
Okay.
And then I was kind of like, well, I'd want to be this kind of band. So no right or wrong. It's just,
I had no idea, man. So I'm
No
sorry.
worries.
if
Yeah,
I'm-
we haven't.
Yeah.
No,
Which
it's
brings
fine.
us to
It's
a good
fine.
point
It's fine.
to where we
There's
can
no other-
finally start talking about Edgar.
Right. Yeah.
Is that Mind Monogram has gone through a lot of. I mean, it seems like the original members have been you and Chris
Yeah.
constantly.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Talk about it.
Well, originally I was just recording an EP. Like I was doing like bedroom stuff, cause before that, I got into a band called Wax Children. Julian, the drummer, got me in at the point because I was already working on this EP, and I didn't have any knowledge about recording stuff on your own. So I was working off a Tascam, like a digital thing.
Oh shit! Right.
And I was trying to track everything myself. And then I hit a wall when I couldn't get the drums and the rhythm to line up. So I hit up a couple of different drummers I knew at the time. I hit up my friend Carlos, plays in a band called Proofs out in Seattle. I hit up my friend Edgar Fernandez, who at the time played at the Zoo in this band called the Zoo, like based off of East LA. And I hit up Julian because I knew he was a drummer too.
Julian from Limbs.
At the time I knew him from a band called Echoes from the Sun. Right. And that was a band that Richard was in at the time. It goes way back. So
it's so funny, like you could draw a whole fucking tree of
Echoes from the Sun. Wow.
So it's just like their band. It was like Richard's brother, and Julian. It was a 3-piece.
Yeah.
And I think I caught them like at a warehouse show or something. So my ex-girlfriend at the time knew of both of them. So that's how I even caught them live. So I hit him up too, and he's like, yeah, I'm down. So I was recording this EP, and I had a couple of songs, and for one of them I had an idea. I'm gonna hit up this drummer for this song, I'm gonna hit up this drummer for this song. Like I felt like it would feel right. So when I hit up Julian, he's like, yo, I got this band, and I had caught him play a couple times, so he invited me to go jam with his band for a minute, and all the dudes were fucking cool as fuck. So after a while, he's like, yo, why don't you just bring that song you're recording and like play it with us? So I did, and that was like a song that we used to play in the set. Nice. And that was my introduction to that band. Like he's like, oh, just if you're down, would you want to join?
Oh, so to Wax Children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I ended up playing with them for about a year or so, and then
just mad. I'm sorry.
After that, like I hit a financial kind of crisis thing. And I had to end up picking up a lot of OT, like overtime work and shit. So at the time, I couldn't keep up with them because they were doing a lot of other shit. And like a lot of that shit ended like 2-3 a.m. weekday nights here and there. I was like, man, I gotta I was working like 68 plus hours a week.
Fuck.
Yeah, dude. So I was like, yo, I couldn't keep up.
That's the wrong one.
So at the time, I had to leave that band, and then I pick up where I left off. Like I was already like recording this like a year and a half ago prior to that. Brian was another drummer I had hit up too. So Brian was already in the loop. And so after that, like I just kind of kept recording shit at home. And then I hit up Brian. And then that's how that came about. Like eventually like started piecing this EP together. Yeah. And then Julian ended up like drumming for a while too. At the time he was transitioning out of that band. For a minute, like I don't know what was going on with them. Like my last show with them was at was it Moon Block Party in Pomona? It's just a random thing. I had already left the band, but they were like really cool with me, and like, hey, would you be down to play this last show? And I was like, yeah, fuck it, like that's really cool of you guys, like to like have me play this last show with you guys at this like that was like one of the biggest things we had gotten at the time. Yeah. And it's such a trippy story, man, because Jam in the Van was like setting up as we were pulling up, and we were just like, dude, we're gonna get on that shit today, because they weren't scheduled or whatever. Yeah. And so it was just kind of like a dumb joke or whatever. So we just finished opening up that festival, and then on our way back, because they had you transporting your gear in these little golf carts, because like it was like this open patch of grass, like it's like like a stadium kind of thing. And then I got off real quick because Jam in the Van was still like setting up, and I ran up to one of the dudes and was like, yo, we just finished opening up right now. We got our fucking gear loaded up in that little golf cart. Are you down to have us like do a quick session right now? And the dude was like, fuck it, we got an open slot. I think Black Rebel Motorcycle Club canceled that day or some shit. There was a band that dropped. Yeah. So there was an open slot, and he's like, if you guys got all your shit right here, like we already have most of your stuff set up, like they got orange amps for you and shit. You don't really have to do much. Yeah. So we just jumped in on it real quick and then just did our thing. And that was like, I felt so good, like oh man, this is the last show I got to play with. Yeah, like it was just like a good feeling, like awesome. Damn, I mean, like I left on a good note and everything, like these are my bros and shit, no matter what. Yeah. And just to like have that as a like a good memory, you know, like, oh, that was the last
That's a
thing.
hell of a way to go out.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we're still good and shit, so it was
Yeah.
just, it was nice, you know, and it was like a really like hard day, to be honest, cause I was like, damn, it's like I was like, man, I want to go back in the band and shit, but like at the time I was already like, it was done, you know. So after that, like I just kept recording shit at home on my little Tascam, and then I showed it to Chris, and then Chris and I was like, hey, let's get a lockout and keep recording this shit, and we did. We ended up at a rehearsal space that we ended up in Vernon,
Francisco
Studios.
Shout
I've
out.
been there for like
He's been there for a few years.
yeah, 4 years now. And we got that because we needed a place to just track and shit, because I couldn't track drums at home or at anybody's home, you know, like. So we ended up getting that spot, and that's how that shit happened, to be honest. Just Chris and I.
You guys still have that spot?
Yeah.
Is that metal band next door still fucking loud as
Dude,
fuck?
fuck yeah. Dude, I think there's a couple metal bands, and there's this one where we were convinced they're like, these motherfuckers are doing something like ritual shit. Because like,
Oh dear.
because they'll show up like literally at 15 minutes before midnight, and they'll practice like one song, or it seems like it's one song for like
Right.
15, 20 minutes. And it's just like this weird, like you can't make out what the fuck they're saying. And it's like, they're out of there. Like, all right, same time next week, boys. Like that kind of shit. And we're like, whoa, that's fucking weird.
Meanwhile, you guys like walk by to like go to the restroom and shit, and you see like a goat hanging and shit.
Dude, that room looks gnarly as fuck. There are neighbors right across too. And like, it's like, I guess it's that fucking time. Cause it's that fucking same song. And it's like a chant. And we're like,
That's
all right, buddy.
That's cool.
Yeah. That shit was weird as fuck.
like dog.
That's crazy
lord.
you remember that, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Well, dude, every single time we try to do something like because we used to do, for those of you who don't know, we used to do this thing, Fam Collective. No, I'm just Get all sad. No, yeah, so we used to shoot a bunch of live sessions there, and I remember trying so hard sometimes, like we would try to have a meeting, you know, and it's like, what? Huh?
Oh, because it was that
Could you-
loud.
yeah, dude, it was loud.
Yeah.
All you hear was exactly, and it was just like, what? It was hard to concentrate, but it was tight. We had some fucking good times.
That was a cool spot. It still is, man. If you guys are more than welcome to stop by if you want to just kick it or
Let's do it.
jam and shit. Yeah.
Dude, I miss
Hell
that
yeah.
place.
Dude, Francisco's is tight. I remember I used to have a lockout back in the day, and were you on the third floor?
Second
Second
floor.
floor.
Second?
Yeah.
Ours was on third floor, and as soon as you walk in, you know, I don't know if they still have it now, but it was like a cork board of like,
Huh.
Yeah, flyers and all that
flyers.
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, they still got that.
I remember this this like metal band. Their name was called Come Blood,
Come blood.
and it was just like, you know,
Alright.
that fucking font.
That
and
crazy
shit.
font, yeah.
It's all red.
You
and
can't
shit.
read that shit.
What's going on here?
Recently, dude, like maybe about 2 months ago, some dude like literally posted a little fucking nug right there, like a fucking nug of weed and shit, and was like, hit me up. Yeah, like our bass player took a picture, like that's how he was advertising. I was like, all right, that's
Dang.
fucking bold, but
Right, yeah.
I don't know if anybody's gonna like pick that shit out and like reference that thing, but I was like, all right, it's not just bands anymore, you know, like we're looking for a drummer or whatever. Nah, it's like,
The Connect.
yeah,
Plug.
that shit was a trip.
That's wild.
It's getting it's
That's,
illegal out
that's
here.
good advertising.
Yeah, I mean, you're-
that's knowing your market.
If you're gonna put a legit like piece of weed right there,
Yeah.
be like, yo, what's up? Like, that's pretty, yeah. Like,
Hit me
Imagine
up.
someone like
Yeah.
left like acid right there. Or some
right.
shit like
People
that.
would,
It's like,
yeah. I got the golden ticket.
This is this dude that's been hitting us up randomly. He's been going like floor to floor, like knocking on doors, just selling pedals. He went to China, and he said there's a street out there where there's just nothing but like gear. So he came back with a backpack full of pedals, all kinds of shit. And he just knocks. He's like, $20, bro. Like whatever you want. He's
What?
got like delays,
Max just
octave
went,
pedals,
what?
fuzz, distortion, all
What are-
kinds of shit.
Are they like
Are they like
pretty good.
Chinese knockoffs? Or are they,
plastic?
like-
Like,
No, they're like those like nano ones.
oh,
so they're smaller.
Is it Moore?
No.
It's not Moore.
No, it's like this random company, but they got anything you can think of.
Probably
Like,
full of bees. It's probably not even a real pedal.
I tried out their slow gear, which is like a,
Like, oh, it's like a fixed wah, right?
it's just like a volume swell pedal. So
Oh,
you
that's
hit
it,
like a
that's it.
fucking note and it sounds tight. It makes
Yeah.
shit sound like a violin. He had one of those. He had like a fucking octave pedal that makes your guitar sound like a Mario video game.
I like that.
Delays. Yeah, he's got all kinds of shit.
Well, yeah.
I don't have his number, but
That's cool.
I'll get it for you.
Let me know. Yeah.
$20, bro. Plug this fool in and shit. Nah, I don't even know.
Imagine that guy. Like, imagine that guy. He puts a pedal like on the bulletin board. He's like, "Yo, hit me up."
$20. Yeah, dude.
$20.
Legit.
You should tell
tight.
him $30.
$30, huh? Give me a cut and shit. What's up, dude? That's not a bad idea.
Like, yeah, you're advertising for him right now.
Right, dude.
Damn, it's true.
Look at that.
He plays in
It's a
like
racket.
80s bands and shit, 80s metal bands.
All right.
Yeah,
So he only needs like 2 effects.
yeah. He doesn't fuck with the rest. That's why he's like in a hurry to get rid of them. It's like, I don't need to fuck it, dude. Yeah.
Nice.
He's always trying to push fuzz and fucking distortion on. It's like, we don't fuck with that.
Aw. my thing went in the beer.
Oopsie.
Now I gotta go like this.
Plinko.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've been doing mine on. You guys released some stuff. You guys did some stuff with Agu.
Oh, yeah.
That.
You guys have
Yeah.
a tight ass logo.
Thank you, man.
Like it.
That's the
Who made that
homegirl,
logo?
Janelle.
Janelle.
Janelle Carbajal.
Yeah, she's got a lot of cool
Janelle
artwork.
Carbajal.
Her and one of our homeboys, Ponce, Saul Ponce, he does like sign paintings for businesses and stuff like that.
Oh, but he
And,
does like the hand drawn like lettering kind of.
yeah,
thing?
yeah,
Oh, that's
like
tight.
it
Love
looks
that.
really cool, like
I
really
love that.
old school.
Yeah.
So we had hit him up and we gave him the idea of the name, and I had like that whole font as far as like the lettering goes, because honestly it was off an Akai mic, like an old box, like from the 70s from an Akai mic, and it had like a really similar font. So I was like, can you do something like that, but like with an M or some shit, and like
Right.
so it could be like a layered thing. And he kind of came up with this like font, and then but that was it. So I was like, all right, cool. And then we hit up our friend Janelle, and then she's like, I think I could like make this into a digital thing for you guys. And we wanted it to be in the shape of a circle, and then that's how that came out. It was like collab, to be honest. It was like 3 of us, my boys Saul, and then Janelle. And we like it was like
Well, it looks dope.
Thank you, man.
You know what I mean? Like that. Those types of things. They it's weird. I don't know what the exact word for it is, but you know, they definitely like send a vibe or like a message
Oh, really?
kind of thing. You know.
Cool.
I don't know.
No, it's. I think
I guess like professionalism is the word I'm getting to. You know, you're
Alright.
like it's like we're like you know.
you guys have always been on your shit for
Yeah.
sure.
Thank
like,
you,
which is
man.
tight. As far as your merch goes, I bought a shirt from you guys, and you guys didn't know it was me because I used my legal name.
What's your legal name? What the fuck?
Say it, I'll bleep it out.
All right,
All right,
you
man, bleep it.
because it's a running gag. But it's like my name's
What?
yeah, legit. So
This guy's a big phony.
yo, man, it's my slave name.
What the fuck? Why do you?
Just
All right.
won't-
Okay.
we won't
we'll
get
get
it.
into
I'll
this
tell you
That's
later.
another time. Yeah.
I don't like my dad.
Okay.
No, but so I mean, I bought your guys. I bought a shirt. I bought the red baseball tee.
Oh man.
I bought that one, and it came with the mouse CP and stickers and a personalized thank you note. And I felt very thanked. I felt very special.
Aw.
You guys are always fucking on your shit. Like, I think of most of the bands that I know, local or otherwise, like, you guys give a fuck about your audience and like the people who are purchasing this stuff. And I always thought it was great. And I think maybe to some degree, I think just knowing you and working with you before with AnFam and all this stuff has been really cool, because I think I overthought your name
Oh.
to some degree. I was like, I've always liked the name Mind Monogram, and I was like, what is a monogram? A monogram is 2 images that make up 1 image,
Oh.
right?
I thought it was also. Sorry, go ahead. Never mind.
Oh, what were you gonna say?
Like a monogram is like when something's like embroidered with someone's like name. It's monogrammed.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, it is. Like if you get like you could have like monogrammed like towels, or like you like monogram your hat at Disneyland.
That's just spelled differently though, because it's mano, like Spanish, MANO.
Is it?
I don't know. It makes
Oh.
sense, right? Fucking words.
Well, no.
and
Well,
shit.
because when I thought about it just now when you were saying mind monogram, it's almost like like it's like stamped on your mind. That's what I thought. But like Not that was my little interpretation.
My interpretation was the other, the two images to make up one image. And Edgar's always been the person who always he likes to collaborate. He's always collaborated. He was talking about he hit up different drummers for different songs like that. And it was to me, it was like a bunch of minds working together to make up one thing. Which I thought was tight as fuck.
That's tight. That's deep.
Edgar's like, I was just fucking stoned one day. Put two
Honestly, dude, that name came from a fucking MGMT lyric from the song Alien Days.
Nice.
This is Monogram.
Just took away all of that from me.
That's just being real. That's where it came from.
Yeah.
But the logo itself was a really cool collaborative thing. And then I just added a little black circle because I felt like that would help figure out what direction it's supposed to be in. You know what I mean?
The orientation.
Yeah. Because it can you can look at it upside down and what the fuck doesn't make sense? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that was just a real collaborative
It's tight.
thing.
I liked it a lot.
Thank you.
The first time I saw it. I'm trying to remember something actually, but continue. I'm gonna.
He's gonna do some
look at this
research.
real quick.
Okay.
I think it's really cool that Brian stuck with you guys, because I remember when we were doing all that stuff, he was really he really wanted to be in my Monogram.
Oh shit.
I don't know what it was, but seeing him do all that stuff, he would come in early to the studio sometimes just to fucking practice to make sure his chops were up. So
he still does, man.
Okay, I was slightly
That's
wrong.
just that's who he is.
And I respected the fuck out of that for so long.
Dude, not only that, but he drives all the way from Fontana.
Fontana.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
That's
that.
commitment, man.
I thought it. Give me it.
He has the gnarliest commute.
It's not even that. God. I thought it was the same colors for a second as this,
Close.
but it's not. But
what's funny is when you do that, I have to censor one of them.
you do.
Yeah.
Well, it's more about the. Anyway.
Modern times.
Modern times.
Yeah.
No,
do a collab with that beer then.
Damn.
Do Deftones been
It's
doing
pretty
it.
tasty, man.
Yeah.
Deftones has a beer.
They
We're
do?
gonna do it. Porcelain Pale's gonna do it.
Doesn't Stone Cold have a beer?
Yo,
Yeah, he should. If anybody,
He does.
Independent breweries, get at us straight up. We're trying to make Porcelain Pale Ale
Oh,
What is that?
shit.
What is that?
because we like pale ales.
Pale ale, damn. Black and tans.
That's right. Is that a beer too?
Well, you use a pale ale with a stout. It's or an Eclipse. Have you heard an Eclipse?
What's that?
It's a Blue Moon and a Guinness.
No.
And when you pour them, or you have to pour them a certain way, it separates.
Yeah, they separate.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because one's heavier, right?
Yeah, some shit like that.
Wow, dude, that's some freaky nerd shit. That's tight.
It's dope.
I like it.
Fucks you up.
But so what I want to kind of get into right now is okay, well, who's your lineup right now? Let's talk a little bit about your relationship with Chris. I wish that the rest of the guys could have made it today because it would have been fucking dope.
Same, dude. Maybe another time for sure.
Oh, for sure, we'd love to have you guys back. But let's talk about your relationships with these guys as well.
Well, it's funny you bringing up Brian because we were just talking about him. He was one of the drummers I actually hit up for the My Monogram EP prior to. So we actually have stuff recorded. I have a Tascam that I haven't plugged in for a minute. And I have a lot of shit from that phase, stuff that even came out a couple EPs after, just early ideas. So he was already stoked on that, man. But when Julian, one of the drummers I hit up at the time, asked me to join his band, I put all that on the back burner for a minute. So he was already committed. We had already had a couple of
Yeah.
sessions. So when I hit him up a year and a half later, he's like, dude, I'm fucking down. But he was just in a different place at the time. He was working at that film rental place and stuff and shit. Yeah. So
that dude he's humble as fuck, dude.
He is, dude.
He's such a good fucking
He's a
guy.
fucking sweetheart, dude.
Seriously, I remember him seeing I remember him playing with you guys when Julian had stopped, but we were still doing the Anthem thing. He was he would give Julian props and all that stuff, and it was and I was like, this fool is legit the most humble person I've ever met, dude.
Dude.
He's such a good fucking guy. I love the shit out of Brian. Have you ever met Brian? Their drummer? No. Great fucking guy.
Not at length.
You know what's
maybe.
weird? Someone
But I know
once
of you.
confused me for him.
Really? What the
which was
fuck?
weird.
Well, I can see the beard.
The beard, and we're bigger guys. But somebody said, like, we played a show at the Fox at the Flyway or whatever for Halloween. And some guy's like, oh, shit, oh, my bad, dude. I thought you were my homie Brian. I was like, Brian, which Brian? He's like, oh, he's in this band called My Monogram. I was like,
Yeah, you know it's funny.
I was like,
actually?
that's a huge compliment because Brian is cute as fuck.
I think I thought that too.
Both the dudes are handsome guys.
I think when we went to do the AnFam session in that hot ass building, I was like, I think this dude plays in my Monogram.
Well, Brian was there to record your stuff, so you were like, I'm seeing double.
Oh, yeah, that's what okay, that's what I was, yeah, for sure. Is there more beer?
No, drank it all.
Man, well, you're still thinking about the mimosas we were talking about earlier. So continue. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so
whoa.
you're not Brian.
Sorry, I'm
and-
crushing on Brian right now, really hard. I got to bring up Chris in a second.
I wonder if he would like if I call him Bry. I think I'm gonna try it out.
Yeah, we call him Bry.
Next time I see him, I'm gonna be, hey, what's up, Bry?
I just wanted-
Listen.
and he grew out his hair. You guys grew out your hair together. Did you guys
Your
do
hair
that
grew hella
together?
quick
Oh damn.
because I think one of the last times, well, prior to, you said Ace Origami, right?
Yeah.
Prior to that, I want to say one of the last times was at Lot 1 when you guys played Wire's Residency.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
was a sick ass show. By the
Oh,
way, I think
dude, that
we
was so
played with
fun.
Fun Game that night too. It was you, Fun
Was it?
Game,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
us.
Oh,
yeah.
that was like the good night. It was like it was.
Good night.
That was the
No, because it wasn't it you guys in like Iris played too?
I think so.
Yeah, it was good. I remember I was
It was
like, yeah,
it was
so-
lit, dude.
Yeah.
That was fun.
You had short hair.
Yeah, dude, I've been having fucking like fades and haircuts forever because all my jobs required that shit. Like I grow it out for like a month and be like, you know, your hair's getting a little bushy, blah blah. It's like fuck off. But it was like
I can't
a
wait till I saw that thing.
Like, I'm rock and roll, bitch. The fuck?
Like,
dude for the longest. I haven't had my hair this long since I was like fucking 15 and shit. Since
Damn.
skateboard, yeah.
rad. No, I just think it's weird. Like I think stuff like that's kind of dumb because it has no bearing on your like work stuff. You know, like
It's I don't know, man. People give a fuck about that shit. I guess you know. Like I don't know. I never really saw the like why.
same.
Yeah,
I always thought it was like a weird thing.
it's kind of silly.
You
Yeah.
look like a fucking hippie.
Probably.
You look homeless.
I
I'm just saying the shit that I used to get
like-
when I had long hair.
Yeah, and that's happened to me at like
Adrian used to have a long as fuck.
I seen it.
He looked
You had
like-
dreads,
Yeah,
huh?
I
when you
had
didn't-
dreads, yeah.
You didn't have
Yep.
like a mustache or anything like that. And I was like, man, this fool wants to be in System of a Down hella bad. But yeah, dude, like every job I've had, it's like, and I didn't pick up on it till like maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. But like, if I get like a black dude haircut, or if I have like a little fade or something like that, if I get a fade, people like I'll say something and they'll be like, I didn't think about that. That's amazing. I'm like, okay, so cool. Yeah, thanks for telling me that. And then like when I like have my hair like right now or like a little longer, it's always just like, oh, you're here to do the work.
That or it's like a bitch ass smirk, like sure, buddy.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah, like-
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember your cute mustache. You had a cute little
I
mustache.
did. Or I had a mustache for a cool minute, and then I just like this thing started to happen where like it was like bipolar. Like one side was like this, and the other side would just, and I couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
And then I was also like, I want to have people not be ashamed of me in public, so I'm gonna try it out. But that was like the most I could get. Like I'm not a hairy dude,
Yeah.
so
I'm all that is man. I got a hairy
For me.
back, ladies. Sup? I got a hairy ass back.
I got a hairy ass.
I do have a hairy ass. All right, keeps my buns warm in the winter.
Damn.
I don't know how the fuck we sidetracked, but we're trying to talk about the people.
We're
in the
talking about
band who are not
Brian.
here.
We said that you
Brian's
got like
cute as
you
fuck.
got yeah.
Chris.
Brian has long hair. You have long hair.
Chris, you said you've been
People
friends
stereotype
since
us.
middle school.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Chris
sorry.
is my homie since middle school. Yeah, we just go that far back. We didn't really start playing music together. Actually, I played in a band of his when I was like 16 or 17. He was playing a bunch of Joy Division covers and then a couple of originals. And they needed a bass player at the time because I started playing out bass before I played anything else. And so like I learned a couple of Joy Division songs in about a week and played a gig, helped cover for them
Those
in a gig.
Peter Hook bass lines.
Dude, they're the best.
They're the best.
Fuck
dude.
yeah.
Yeah, what's that one though? What's that one song though? It's like a synth bass. It's heart. Is it Heart and Soul or Mind and Soul? Or
Heart and Soul.
Heart and Soul, yeah.
Oh, so freaking sick,
Dude.
I heard it.
Lit.
Dude,
The first time I heard
Disorder.
it- the
The
first time I
bass
heard
line
it
for
was live.
Disorder.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, sorry, continue.
That's the first time I ever jammed out with Chris, to be honest. Yeah, and I only like met him through his drummer at the time because he knew that I played bass, and I was like, yeah, I'm fucking down.
So did you start bass first?
Yeah, that was
What
my
wa-
first instrument.
Was it intentional?
I was in middle school, and the homeboys were starting a band. They're like, we're gonna play a bunch of Strokes covers, and we need a bass player. And I was like, I'm fucking down to play bass, whatever the
Dude.
fuck that is.
Yeah,
And that's how I ended up getting a bass. Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah.
No, because and I mean, if you're gonna play stroke songs, I would say like lead guitar or bass would probably be the funnest thing in that band.
Yeah,
'cause
you know, it was a lot of fun.
a lot of their songs are, or especially like later on, were like bass driven.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the ones that people really like to this day are still like, or like I think about like Interpol's first bass player.
I fucking love Interpol, dude. Carlos D is the shit.
Yeah, what's his name again?
Carlos D.
Carlos D.
Yeah.
They're all dope. Wasn't he like, weren't they all like really wealthy or something like that?
I have no idea.
There was some weird story I heard about
I think that's the
Interpol.
Strokes. Like
Really?
some of those
Strokes is
motherfuckers had
they're
like
a
yeah,
rich band from New York.
some shit like
But
that.
so is Interpol. I think they're like
Yeah, Interpol.
Yeah.
They were like all like
rich kids.
the lead singer dude in Interpol. He was just like, I want to start a band, and I'm repeating information.
Daddy
there,
works
but-
on Wall Street.
Yeah, well, no, because he has like he was already like a successful like millionaire like business dude already.
What the?
Oh wow, really?
Yeah,
That's
because
new
you
to
didn't
me.
know that.
I
Like,
gotta
that guy,
fact-
what's his name? Paul
fact
or some
that.
shit like
His
that.
fucking
check
last
this.
name is Banks.
We're gonna fact check this right now.
No, it's legit. Like he has like a perfume or like a cologne that he sells, and he was making like millions of dollars already, and I think the other people in Interpol were like that too, and there was like some yeah, and they just were like, let's be a band, and then the bass player, I remember there was this TV channel.
Top 1%, you know.
These motherfuckers look like businessmen already.
Right, because they had the steez, like, you know, they
Yeah.
just knew what they were gonna do, like, already. But yeah, that guy was like very. You said Paul D.
Carlos D.
Carlos. Damn it.
Pauly D, that's from Jersey
Pauly
Shore.
D.
Tan Leather Tree. He was like well versed in like all this like crazy like architectural stuff.
Oh shit.
I saw some TV show he was on, and he was like saying about all this like cool stuff that like no one who played music through their early teens would know about.
Oh
I was
fuck.
like, no, you're a smart guy.
Kids, the word of the day is digress, which we do often. We're going to get back on track.
Hey,
wanna
you know
fight?
what? Yeah.
So I wanted to say, Chris, there's this cool moment that I had with Chris at the Crystal Gallery. Actually, we were chilling, we were all drinking. I think we were like hitting a bong or something like that. I don't remember if Chris was, but I know I was. But somebody had a bong.
Oh yeah.
I'm not
bong
gonna,
was
not
you?
gonna
Was it you?
apologize for my litness.
Somebody had a bomb.
But I'm talking to
It
Chris,
was blue.
and I had never noticed, and I don't know how he is about it, but he was very open with me, and I'm like almost shitty to bring it up, but I'm just gonna say it because I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Because he's like, well, I'm deaf from one ear, you know,
Yeah.
and he told me that, and I was like, no shit, and you know, and I'd never noticed it about him or anything like that, and he pointed out, he's like, I'm deaf from one ear, and I was like, oh shit, that's crazy, and he was like, yeah, man, it bums me out because I'll never be able to like throw on headphones and enjoy a Beatles album.
Yeah, dude. He can't do stereo.
Yeah, he can't do things in stereo. And I was like, that's the coolest shit ever. Because when I saw that and when he told me that, and I was like, but he's so good. He's such a good fucking musician that the fact that he can hear from one ear and it's like he makes a big sound to like make up for it. And I think it's beautiful. I think he's one of the most talented people I've
That's a
ever
fucking trip, man.
He's
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
A lot of people mistake that for cauliflower ear, because a lot of
Yeah.
like people who do like UFC and shit like that, like that's a common thing.
They look at Chris like, that's what's gonna fuck
Like
me
that
up,
motherfucker.
dude.
Yeah, he's like, totally, bro. He's like, yeah, I've gotten that more common than like what it actually is. But yeah, he's gone through so many surgeries and shit. It's a trip, man. And he's like he loves music, so
It's amazing.
Yeah.
He's so talented, dude. I fucking
Thank you,
love Chris.
man.
Dude,
Okay.
honestly, you have a hell. I've never met Billy. But like as far as I see, like you've always had like a great, like just a great team like surrounding you of just like honestly unique people. Like Chris is a unique person. You're a unique person.
Thank you,
Brian's a
man.
unique person. I don't know Billy, but like I would assume
He's just hell yeah. You guys gotta meet him. Like hopefully next time we can bring him all in or some shit.
Let's do it.
You gotta get to meet him. He's fucking cool as fuck, dude. Yeah.
so tight. What I want to kind of get into right now is the reason we're doing the show, if that's cool with you.
Yeah. Well,
So,
fuck. It's kind of a. I'm just gonna give you like the short of it, man, because it's been like an ongoing thing. Like with my mom, she's been trying to become a U.S. citizen for like maybe about the last 10 years or so. We've already invested about close to $35K in just fees and lawyer fees and shit to buy her time to stay here. I've been in like interviews with her with like immigration. Like it's just the most strange and awkward thing because they're just like, oh, you know, you're not supposed to be here kind of thing. And she's like, well, fuck, you know, like the short of it is she crossed in a place in Texas where there used to be a check-in point or whatever. And this was in the late 80s, before the 90s. That place doesn't exist anymore. So a lot of the paperwork that they had on hand didn't transfer over. So it's not a digital or anything like that. So we're only relying on whatever she has because they don't have it for whatever reason.
Of course not.
So that qualifies as illegal entry. And because of that reason, we've been buying her time, you know, to stay here, like work permits, all that shit. She doesn't even have a fucking driver's license. None of us in our family have ever committed any kind of fucking crime or anything. Like, she's pretty fucking good. Has paid all her taxes all the time she's been here. And
she paid taxes, you piece of shit.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry.
On
Sorry,
top of
no,
all
I'm
that,
yeah.
like we've just been buying time for her pretty much. Like every time she gets like some kind of an appointment to talk to one of these dudes. So at this point, our lawyers were like, all right, well, you're supposed to get this letter and this is going to be the main court hearing. You know, this is where you're going to find out whether they're going to grant you citizenship or like penalize you. So we were supposed to get this notice in April. Didn't get shit. It's July. And the lawyer that's been working with us throughout the majority of this case is like, all right, well, if you don't get your court hearing or whatever for this on April, then you have until July 12th. And if we haven't gotten anything, you have to leave the country. Either that or you pretty much have to do it because we can't really help you if you're trying to lay low here or whatever, because then that jeopardizes our own shit. So, you know, we didn't get anything April, we didn't get anything May, June comes July. And, you know, we're all kind of like hopeful, you know, yeah, it's probably like lagging it or whatever. Yeah. And yeah, we didn't get shit. We still haven't gotten anything. So comes July 10th and the lawyer's like, you gotta get the fuck out of here. Get your ticket, go report that you have a flight ticket, you know, pretty much go let them know that you're taking off. That way it looks good for the case because we've been doing this for so long. And so she's been out there for close to a month now. You know, yeah, she hasn't been there in 30 years. My mom left the country when she was a teenager. And it's like a weird backstory. Like, my mom ended up joining like a missionary, becoming a nun, because my grandmother couldn't afford eyeglasses for her. That's how, you know, how it was at the time, unfortunately. And so they offered to be able to pay for that kind of shit for her. She's like, all right, if you let her join our thing, you know, we're gonna take care of her, whatever. And it was like a hard thing for my grandmother to do because she had like other siblings and stuff. And she's like, all right, do it. So that's how she ended up in the U.S., to be honest. Like, she was doing missionary work with these nuns. And at one point, she ended up going to the U.S. for work. And then somehow she met my dad, and then she just never came back. So she had a passport and everything. She had legal entry. But unfortunately, where she came through in Texas or whatever, like, that's gone. And they don't have any proof on their end, so they're only going off of whatever she has. And it's not sufficient. So they've been pretty much doing this crazy background check on everybody. Like, give me all your pictures you have or things that prove that you've been here all this time, that you raised all these kids, that your kids went to college, that they have fucking degrees, transcripts, or whatever. Like, that they all pay taxes, all this shit, dude. It's ridiculous, dude. I still can't believe they asked for all this shit.
Like how anal and like
Yeah,
how
dude.
much of like a
Yeah, they
massive
can't
like
fucking
audit it is.
fix their own fucking paperwork. Shit.
It's fucking ridiculous, dude. And that's been like an ongoing process. And you have to submit all this shit in. And the gist of it is like she didn't get her fucking court hearing or whatever. So she had to leave. And now we don't really know how long she's going to be out for.
Was there any reasoning why she didn't get the court hearing?
No. It's just like,
you haven't
well,
gotten any answer. Like,
no,
as to
like
why they're not
it's just a
doing it?
waiting game. He's like, well, there's other people like you. It's delayed or whatever. So you got to wait. You got to wait until you get it. And then when you get it, it's going to be for a certain date. You get me? It's not like, oh, you got it, come back. No.
Yeah.
It's like, let's say for whatever reason she gets it like in the next 2 months. It's like, it could be like, oh, well, your date's in February. You know? And the fucked up thing is like she hasn't been out there in 30 years. So it's like culture shock all over.
Spent her entire adult life over here.
And we don't really have a place, so we had to figure out like living situation, fix up a place that she's crashing at right now. My grandma went over to keep her company because, you know, she's able to. Everybody else has to work.
Yeah.
So it's just like a really.
And your mom again came over here because she was a nun.
Yeah.
And she came over legally.
Yeah.
Edgar, where is your mom right now, dude?
Michoacan. Not too far off of the biggest city next to it is called
Michoacan, because it's cracked.
My parents are from
Zamora.
I got
Zamora?
Close to. It's like a maybe 20-minute drive from there.
I have an alternative idea, just as like a plan Z. We'll call it Plan Z. Let's just take all the stuff over here that's tight and just bring it to where your mom is. Like, we'll all move down there. We'll just all be because when this whole, not to go into this whole other thing, but like we all know why this is more like critical than it's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone was saying, you know, if he wins, I'm moving to Canada. And I was like, Mexico's pretty tight.
Mexico is pretty tight, yeah.
Not like this, man. You know, this is like.
Not when you have a whole life out here.
Yeah, I mean.
You know?
Dude, her whole family's out here, man. Like, everybody. Like.
So she's out there by herself.
Pretty much. My grandma's just out there keeping it company.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Dude. And that's bullshit because she did things the right way, and that's what's more infuriating is that where's your God now? It's like it pisses me the fuck off. I don't know, but this is the importance of this, and this is why like we can't like and I didn't know the full story until you told me just now. But when I heard that shit happened, it was like we were just like, yo, dude, like everyone was like, this would be a good idea, like just to try do something. Like I know it's fucking honestly like peanuts compared to what you guys fucking need, and I wish we could fucking do more, but
it's cool, man. You guys are doing a lot, man. I can tell you, like, fuck, I really appreciate everything you guys are doing.
Well, hopefully it helps. So hopefully this maybe gets into the right hands or something. Like, you know, do the best we can, dude.
Thanks, man. Really appreciate that.
I mean, how are things at home though? Like, how have things been? Like,
it's fucking hectic, dude. Cause my mom and dad have never been apart for more than a couple of days. So I mean, they've been married for 30+ years. So that's really tough, dude. Like I can't even fathom what that's like for my dad. You get me? And like my brothers and I are just trying to be there for him and everything, but he's kind of like really old school, like where he doesn't really express himself, you know? Yeah. So I know like he's hurting, dude. Like if I can see it in his face and shit. So it's hard, dude. It's like it's just a different kind of hurt, dude. Because it's an absence, you know. Like, I mean, she's good, you know, but not having her around, like, it's crazy. Like, having that person missing in your life is a huge impact, dude. For everybody in our family, to be honest, because not only my mom, it's all my grandma too. My grandma's kind of like the glue for the whole family. So to have them both gone, everybody's like, oh fuck, like this is real. It's like I didn't really think that could ever happen. You get me? Like I was like, it's gonna be cool. Like don't trip, it's gonna get here on time. And then when it actually happened, it was like, whoa, like we didn't really prepare for this.
You got real like quick.
Yeah, it was like, oh shit, this is this is happening.
Because it seemed like something that would work out. I mean, you guys went through all the channels to be like, to make sure that it would happen and all that.
Yeah.
And it was like,
yeah, we didn't cut any corners, like turned everything in on time. As soon as like they would request for shit, we'd do it, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, and again, you know, you couldn't have asked for like a better candidate for, you know, attaining citizenship. I mean, you know, that she came here and fell in love, got married. She was doing missionary work over here.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what more can you do? How much better of a human being can you be, honestly?
I don't know, man.
You know what I mean?
It trips me out. Like I still like really can't. I mean, I got over that whole like getting angry about this shit. You know what I mean? But I'm like, fuck, like this is fucking silly, dude. Because everything that like I feel separates us from one another is just a concept, to be honest, man. Like I feel like you should be allowed to live wherever the fuck you want. Like that's kind of silly that people have that kind of power over you. Like, oh well, you can't be here. You know what I mean? Like that's I still can't fathom that. Maybe it's because I don't have to go through that. Like fortunately for me, I was born here, you know, so I don't know what that's gonna be like. But I mean, shit, they've been living under the radar. Like they're really good about masking a lot of the shit that was going on like throughout my childhood, and my brothers and like my cousins. Like, dude, like we always fucking lived in one household, and I'm not just talking like my family, but like all our fucking direct family. Like at one point we would have like 13 people living in one apartment. You get me? Yeah. And I never really would have realized like, oh shit, that's not normal. You know, like all my childhood, like me and my cousins all grew up together and shit. Like, it was just kind of like whatever. Like we never even question it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But now like you get to a certain age and like, oh shit, like we were like really struggling, you know, like
you don't think about that.
You don't. They were really good at like, you know, hiding that from us, you know what I mean? And even myself, dude, like I was born handicapped. Like I had I don't know if you're familiar with what clubbed feet is. Yeah. Like so my folks had to work like double jobs and OT.
So you had like the Tommy Pickles?
His feet. You told me one time.
It's called club feet because it's kind of like a golf club. So like your feet are like this, and they're like my feet were like inward.
Oh, okay.
So I would walk on like the side of your.
I got you. Yeah. No, because I was thinking. My bad. I was thinking like duck-footed.
Yeah, both on both my feet. Like I had to go through corrective surgery, and it worked kind of the way braces are for like your teeth, where like you come in every so often and they like tighten it. So I had like platinum bolts on both of my feet, because platinum is the only metal that won't like turn into rust or like give you some
your
kind
body
of
won't like
it won't so like I had those in me, and they'd every so often they'd tighten it like foot, and then they'd move a little bit, and then they'd put a fucking cast over my both my feet. So I had to learn how to walk with casts. Like it was just like a crazy.
So this
like
is when you were like a little baby?
I was a baby, and because it would be the best time to do it, because then your bones would heal normally on time. So when that shit happened, I went through probably like, I don't even know, man. I want to say like at least 24 surgeries or some shit. Just to be safe on how long. But pretty much when it was completed, the doctor got like a feature on the newspaper for like, oh, it's the first time this has been done successfully on somebody this young or whatever. And like now the kid's gonna be able to walk and have a normal life. So like that to me, like even that's like a bigger thing. You get me? Personally, like my brothers didn't go through that shit. So like me knowing that is like, fuck, man, like this is fucked. You get me? Like I got more of a, I don't know. It's a little bit more. It's heavy for me to deal with, because I understand all the shit that they went through. Just so I can be.
That was like an everyday thing.
Yeah, dude.
That was
like,
an everyday thing.
Just to give me a normal life, you know, get me? Like otherwise, I would have been in a wheelchair or some shit. Like probably wouldn't be here, to be honest. I wouldn't have picked up an instrument, I'm sure. Yeah. So,
bro,
that's just like on my personal shit. That's not even what my whole family has. Like, yeah.
I mean, they worked for it to make it happen, which is fucking. It's beautiful, and then a lot of people, they don't take that shit into consideration, especially the people who like, with everything going on, it's the way the media fucking spins things, you know, and we have this fucking fat cocksucker of a fuckhead president, you know, fucking talking about people being fucking rapists and fucking all this shit, and it's just like, dude, like, yeah, I'm sure somebody's raped someone at some point. But it's like, yeah, it's, you have real people, real families going through things.
Yeah.
You know, people making money, working hard to fucking feed their children, make sure they're. Dude, corrective surgery is not cheap.
No, dude.
Like,
Hell no.
Especially for something like that. And your parents fucking straight up said, we're going to work our asses off for our kid.
Yeah.
Like that. I'm so angry right now.
Yeah, because you know
I mean,
what?
I understand. Like, you've gotten over the anger thing, which, dude, how you're fucking as chill-headed as you are is fucking amazing to me.
Thank you.
Dude, like, you fucking amaze the fuck out of me. And I'm proud of you. Like,
thank you.
Legit for everything. I know you're working hard, dude. This is the reason why I wanted to fucking help you, but it's just like, fuck, dude.
No, and you know, when you, all that like media stuff, that's, you know, that's just, in a lot of ways, it's like for some weird kind of like almost like entertainment purposes. But when you think about this, like on like a human to human level, you know what I mean? Like it's not like this, it's not like it's like black and white, okay, you know, good guys, bad guys or whatever. But I don't care what like job title I would have if I was like involved in this anyway, and then I would just think like, no, we can't take someone's mom who's lived here. We can't take a human being who's lived here legally 30 years and just eject them.
It's fucked.
That's
dude.
stupid.
Yeah.
That's stupid. I'm just talking like on a strictly like human to human level. Like forget like what I do for work, or forget like who I am. Just like if you could just step outside of your box for like half of a second, and if that shoe was on the other foot. And that's the thing, I don't know, dude, like that's the thing that really like frustrates me, is like the whole just kind of like apathetic, just like going with the flow kind of thing about this whole thing. It's just like you don't really realize, and I would hope that this doesn't happen to anyone else, but that's just like, it's kind of one of those things where it's just like, you're not going to care until, you're not going to get involved. It's not going to become real to you until it's like happening to you.
Yeah.
And that does, for some people. And it's like it should never get to that point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you think about just, I don't know, dude, it's like simple stuff, like golden rule. Like what you wouldn't, it's not right. It's just not right. It's not logical. You know what I mean? I think that's the part about it that really like gets me, is like, and then when you think about the specific scenario, it makes even less sense. It's just like,
why?
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Like, you know, it doesn't add up.
No.
It's dumb.
You know, and you feel like, I mean, this shit's been going on. It's been a pending thing for a minute, you know? So it kind of trips me out that this is still going on, and now it's stooped to an all-time low where you got kids in court. Like
legit under 5 years old.
Toddlers trying to represent themselves and shit, dude.
It's
like
fucking ridiculous. Like I don't, you know, you figure things would like eventually get a little better, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, it just gets worse, you know? Yeah. So I don't understand it, man. Like I can't even fathom what they're going through. Like I can understand my situation, but like imagine a fucking kid. Like,
right.
Why? What? You know, like.
Yeah. Like that's like a blank slate. You know what I mean? It's like they haven't even gotten the chance to maybe like go off and become a nun or do this other, you know, thing that they were gonna do. It's just like, that's a child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then like that's what I'm saying. Like on the other side of things, like how could you like bang that gavel?
Fuck if I know.
You know, that's the part that's just.
And there's even more fucked up shit going on in these fucking. Let's be honest. Let's call them what they are. They're fucking concentration camps.
Pretty much, man.
You know, and it's like. There's some fucked up shit going on in there as it is. Watch Vice, watch whatever you fucking can, dude. Getting fucking informed. Like, there's so much shit going on, all because someone says you can't live here.
There's a fucking a news report I saw last week about one of these places in Texas where they're holding some of these like kids and teenagers that they already report like sexual abuse.
Sexual abuse.
Teenagers have already like
fucking thing, dude.
Yeah. I mean, shit, like
teenagers, toddlers. It's like
there's already one kid that's died because of negligence.
There you go, man.
Yeah,
negligence.
Negligence.
Just like I don't know.
Oh, there's a kid there.
Like, you know,
he needs food.
Whatever.
It's fucked, dude. Like
it's completely fucked, and everyone's like, well, they're out there fucking coming over to our country, and they shouldn't be in our country because I don't know why. But
yeah, we're raping them and we're raping their kids, but they're brown.
They're brown and they're raping everyone else.
Did you guys know that I think like a crew of 1,400 immigrants fighting the fires up north?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're helping out.
Yeah.
I saw that like recently.
Immigrants.
Yeah.
And sure, and you know what's gonna happen to those immigrants the second that fire's put out? Back to
But
Mexico.
you know what? Too, that's the same thing that happened like back in the day with Hurricane Katrina, and that wasn't even in like the media that Mexico sent like because they knew FEMA wasn't doing anything. Like Mexico sent over like a group of people to help people out with like getting supplies and making sure that like they weren't getting injured by like I don't know all the other stuff that was going on, and it's just like. When you talk about things being skewed and painting a picture like in the media and everything and how that stokes the flames of these kind of things and shapes people's thinking, it's wild. You know what I mean? Like even like my not to go on another tangent, and it doesn't derail this at all, but like I call myself brown. You know what I mean? Yeah. And growing up I would have certain people that would be like, yeah, but dude, but like you're like half black or whatever. And I never really thought about it in those terms. I just thought like, yeah, that's the color of my skin it's brown.
Yeah.
That was like legit what I thought. And like in a literal sense. And then, a lot of my homies and just people who I identified with, this is just how it was. It was just like a normal thing. But even in something that small, like you can't even get people to say that we're all brown. They're like, no, you're black.
Yeah.
You're kind of black, so you can't say brown. And it's just like you're really like in there with like being
It's silly, man.
herded and like you got to break out all of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, dude, it's all a concept, man.
Yeah.
Like nobody really fucking owns land. You don't own shit, bro.
Exactly.
You fucking all have red blood. I mean, understand like, oh, you're a blue blood or some shit like that, some alien race or whatever the fuck. But dude, everything is you're all the same, Like there's no real fucking. It's just a concept.
And you for sure were not the person that claimed that land in the first place, anyways. So it's like,
For real.
who do you think you are, dog?
Like, that's the thing. Is like the Browns are coming in here and raping people and all that stuff. How many brown people did you rape? How many brown people did your ancestors rape to fucking come in here and steal some land? All because a bunch of white, rich, aristocratic, slave-owning Americans didn't want to pay their fucking taxes.
Y'all raped a bunch of brown people. Thanks for giving us Beyonce. But other than that, that's some bullshit. That's true. You can look that up.
It's silly, dude. Like, to be honest, we're still going through this shit like right now.
Nah, dude, it sucks, dude.
Well, fuck us.
What is that? I mean, what's the? I guess. What does it? I mean, with everything that's been going on, you said she's been over there for a month. Like, what does it look like? What is the end game? Like, what does it look like? Like, what is the hope of?
It's a waiting game, dude. Thing is, we talked to our lawyer, and she's like, "Well, you gotta wait. We gotta wait till this shit comes through. Like, there's a bunch of other people out in this country, same situation. They're on the same boat. It's like we can't just be like, hey, you need to speed this shit up. It's like how many other people aren't in the same boat, Yeah.
Is there any reason why it's such a long process?
You can hit them up, and they're like, we're working on it, Like,
right.
You get a really generic thing.
I think that complacency and apathy in large quantities is deadly. It's bad because people are just like, I don't know, man, it doesn't affect me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, oh, some kids in Africa got AIDS, whatever, they don't have toilets, whatever, dog. I'm here, I'm chilling, I'm getting like fucking boba. You know what I mean? Like, it's not my mom. Okay, what happens when it is your mom? What happens when it's you? And that's a real scenario. That's where we're at, or that's what it's going to. And it's like, if all it takes is for people to just be loud all together, then like, I mean, what does that honestly cost you?
Yeah, but even still, I don't know if that is the way. Because you have so many people You know, how many times have people marched in the street? You know, protesting all these things. You know, people have gone into the freeway, and a couple of people have died getting hit by cars and all this stuff. Being loud is no longer enough. Being loud is no longer enough, and it sucks. It's like, what the fuck do you? Revolution, kill someone. I'm just playing.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. But I don't know. Like, it's at this point, it's like, fuck. What can we do? Okay, we have no fucking way to help anything like that or stop any of this from fucking happening, unfortunately. And if it's a fucking waiting game, what do you do? What the fuck do you do? Like,
I wish I had that answer. I wish that there was
the answer is anything you fucking can.
Yeah. I remember
anyone. And look at, I mean, there's a beautiful fucking thing going on right now. Like, you know, not to talk anything or try to get away from it, it's not getting away from the subject, but it's like, there's a beautiful fucking thing going on. When I hit up Furcast about your situation, I said, dude, we're going to fucking throw a show to help Edgar out. I'm like, this and this happened. This is all I know. Gary was like, dude, the second I told him, everyone was in. We love our boy. You know? Because everyone loves you, dude.
Thanks, man.
Everyone loves you. You're very loved, dude. We love you. And, you know, and then, you know, Jeanette got in and all that stuff. Everyone, fucking Janelle, she was like, oh, I can't make the flyer, but I have artwork. I'll donate the artwork for the raffle. Dude, everyone fucking was just like, we're going to help our fucking boy.
Damn.
You know?
Thanks for hooking that up, by the way.
No, dude, it was a complete accident. It was a complete accident. I can't even take credit for it because it's like, it just happened the way it fucking happened. And there is a beauty in what we do. The fact that someone, there's a beautiful fucking thing where people don't recognize enough, I think, where it's like someone, Janelle is someone who fucking makes art. She makes beautiful art with her hands. And the fact that she can say, I make this with my hands and I can give this to someone to help someone else. The fact that Gary and Johan and you or anyone else, our buddy Alejandro and all this stuff, they're like, dude, this is a cause I believe in. I've made something. I've made music. I've written lyrics. I've done all these things. I've learned how to perform these things, and I can do this to help people and all that stuff. Like, that's what that shit's fucking all really about. But everyone gets caught up in the bullshit of the popularity contest and all that shit. And it's like, you guys are not using your powers for good. You know? And it's like, there is a beautiful fucking thing going on that needs to fucking happen, that needs to fucking, like, be recognized as, hey, finally, look, everyone knows people like to be entertained. They like music, they like art, they like all these fucking things. Everyone likes going to these things. Finally, your art has a purpose. You know?
There you go.
It's bigger than you now.
Yeah.
Do what the fuck you can to help out your fellow fucking
Human.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
You know?
We're all in this shit together, you know?
Big time. Big time.
Yeah.
I had some point, but that was funny. I forgot now. Shit. Come back to me. I'll get it. You know, it's still there.
I don't know. I'm not saying, like, at the same time, I'm not saying, like, guys, art's the answer. You know, art's gonna fucking stop all immigration and unfair treatment of the world. And it's like, no, but it's like, hey, dude, you got something, you know somebody going through this shit, fucking help them out. Fucking do something. Like, these are your people. You enjoy what they fucking do. They enjoy what you do. Like, fucking get with it.
Well, I remembered one of those other things. Someone said to me, like, you know, when things get, like, in large parts, like, you know, countries or whatever, like, when things get rough, like, art's the first thing to go. You know what I mean? Like, if people don't have money to spend because times are rough, whatever, like, the first thing that they sacrifice is, like, you know, oh, can't go to that movie, can't go to that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But then, like, the thing that, like, a lot of times gets us out of that is those bold people to just be like, no, I'm gonna, you know, stand there, no bulletproof vest, and, like, boom. And then, you know, there's art for all different times. you know, you have things that are complete, that don't make any sense because, you know, that's the point of time we're at. And then there's art that has like weight and validity, and it's like has a commentary behind it. And the thing I was trying to remember was that a friend of mine who he's from Mexico, but he said that, you know, he's lived in different places and everything, and he's a little bit older, and he just said that, like, he's like, I don't know if people here in the United States, he's like, I don't think that they realize it, but he's like, this country, he's like, is definitely headed for a revolution, like of a wild sort, because there's just like everybody's going through some type of something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I went to a college 10 years ago, and the loan amount was $30,000, and I checked it today, it's 90.
Oh shit.
And that's like mild, you know? What's up?
We need to take a break.
Oh my god.
Right,
but basically, like there's a lot of frustration and stuff going on, and
it feels like
it's gonna reach a boiling point where it eventually, you know, that fire is getting so hot it's gonna come out of the pot.
Yeah, dude.
You know,
it fucking certainly feels like it, man. Like,
well, here's what we're gonna do. If this thing's getting full already or whatever, we're gonna go ahead and end this here. But I want to thank you so much for coming and sharing and being open and being honest about all this stuff. We really hope for the best turnout next week.
Thank you, dude.
Or this
Likewise,
Friday.
man. You guys set this all up, so I got a huge thank you to everybody.
Dude, we love you so much. And I want to say quickly,
thank you, man.
Love you, dude.
Love you too, dude.
I believe in you. And please check out my Monogram too. They're so fucking dope.
If anything, you piece of shit, listen to his band, god damn it.
At least. It's the least you can do.
You're sitting there anyway. Just listen to it.
I just want to end with saying that I watched this video recently, and it was from something that aired like years ago, where some guy was talking about how it is. Did you know it was illegal to say someone should kill the president? It's illegal to say go into the House of Congress and fucking blow it up. It's illegal to say that. It's fucking crazy.
Illegal according to who?
Well, it's illegal to say. It's illegal to say I want to kill the president.
It would be it would be so crazy if, like, on a recorded broadcast of something, somebody said, "Hey, let's kill the president." Like, that would be so wild.
But let's also remember here that, like, I mean, these people are wrong because it is not just the president's fault. It's also the House of Representatives' fault.
It's a whole bunch of Sith lords.
The thing is, like, it's illegal to say we should start a revolution and kill everyone. Everyone running the country is wrong, and we should kill them. You can't say that.
Like, it would be so crazy. I don't know if this bunch of times and then have him run the country.
That would be fucking nice.
And then also we want to say, please come out this Friday. It means the world to us. Your attendance alone is important. There's no donation too small, and even if you buy a drink, it fucking matters. All right? Just have a fucking beer. Some of that's going to go to helping out Edgar's family and families all across the United States that are going through something similar. So, we love you guys a bunch. Thank you guys for tuning in.
You can finally have a beer and feel happy instead of feeling sad.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the Jellyhead podcast.
Guess what? This is the first beer you'll ever have that'll actually do some good.
Make it feel good. It feels good when it hits the lips.
Thanks again, guys.
Thank you.